Okay. So, interesting conversations going on here. On this particular topic, I will first share, one of the experiences that I recently had. So I was addressing, I mean, at a university, and therein, the topic was India is a source of global talent pool by 2030, which is a, national vision also. And I think it's not just the organizational failures, but then it starts from the educational institutions as well. It starts from, when the education starts, from the kind of educational structure that we have today. And when we are preparing these, our current generation or our millennials, when we are preparing them, first to understand their whatever talent we have acquired in the past from that pool, what is it that did not went well in there? Was it something which is there some correction which is required? And to share that correction with these educational institutions, to tell them that, look, these are the examples. This is how, if you kind of make certain modifications in the learnings that your students are having, or if you need certain, if you can understand what is going to be the need of the industry in a practical world, and have that as a part of your education, that will help, getting us ready to be that global talent pool by 2030. And further, have that improvisations through learning from already people who are there in the talent industry, or from the institutions who are there, or collaborating more with those kind of learning institutes who are there and are specialized, right? So you collaborate with them, break that traditional cycles, and prepare your talent pool. That's one piece of it. The second piece of it is the talent pool that you have in the organization. We are no more in the world wherein, specifically if I talk of, or any industry you talk of, you pick up an IT, you pick up a manufacturing, in and any segment that you pick up. There is on the talent side of things, there is a change that comes in every second day. My skills, which I might have like maybe 2 years back, they might not be, of any use to me now. For an example, there is this. I just give big data example. So big data. I think somewhere around 2015, 2016, big data used to be the hype, and you have to be the big data engineer, developers, experts, and kind of things. But then today, to do the same job, I have tools available. Today, a person might want to be a data scientist, and the data scientist is kind of is a trend. More for us as an organization to understand is the change part of it, and if that change is not inculcated in the organization itself, and at the same time, are you talking about that change? Are you talking about this, the entire evolution of technology, evolution of skills which is happening, and is that causing a mistake? If yes, you'll have to talk about it. There has to be a give feedback, there has to be a get feedback, and there has to be an absorption of that feedback. And to tell your workforce that it's okay to make a mistake, because with that mistake, you will have an opportunity to correct it by maybe a learning, by maybe, some knowledge sharing, or something knowing about what industry needs from you. What is it that you have to learn, maybe unlearn, you have to reskill, you have to upskill to be ready for the growth that is required? And that's not just for the organization, that's as a nation, that's for your own self. So that's something that you'll have to do. So, and then again, as an organization, I'll talk of two things that, we do we do for, our people. As I said, get feedback and give feedback. This entire learning from failure starts from there. So you have to have a practice within your organization in some or the other ways wherein you are giving feedback to your people and you are getting feedback also from them. that opens the door for doors of talking about what is it that is required to be successful. Is it some kind of mentoring? Do I need to reskill myself? Do I need to do certain, maybe some learning sessions, some trainings, some expert talks, anything which will help? One. Second is, when you're doing all of this, are you also telling your people that, okay, while this is something which is required to correct your mistakes or which is required for your improvement, for your growth, are you linking all of them to the developmental goals or the learning goals, for your people? So that after maybe 6 months of time, this is something that I have learned well, and this is something which is going to help my organization. And that creates an open culture that creates so many platforms for any organization to talk about learnings, to talk about certifications, to talk about industry needs, to talk about mentoring, to talk about the platforms that as an organization I can create or we can create for our talent pool. And last thing that I have to say is this. Um, as an organization, again, for us as leaders within an organization, leaders are the ones who have to talk about their failures first, who have to talk about, who have to start giving those examples of, okay, we wanted to, run a project like this. This is the kind of sprint release maybe that we wanted to have, or implementation that was supposed to happen, but that it did not happen this way. And what is next that we do to make it happen more smoothly, more successfully the next time? And that's where, your learning and development teams, that culture of learning and development comes into picture. And these teams have to be more vocal. They have to more collaborative and communicative with the business to ensure that you have a culture of learning and development, and that comes through improvisations across the organization and the teams.